everybody hears me well. And I believe I am live now. Just wanted to do a quick video because people have been asking me, messaging me, what about Mayweather versus McGregor on Saturday? What do you think about the fight? And people pretty much know what I think, gathering from the messages. But I think more or less they're trying to get a feel of what can McGregor do to put any kind of pressure on Mayweather in this fight, push him at all. Is there any sort of shot? Is what people's looking for. And I think McGregor's first strategy is to pray. To pray, say some Our Fathers and Hail Marys, and just pray. But 0-0, and you're fighting a guy who's 49-0. So what can you possibly do? I think McGregor's strategy, his only strategy to give himself a shot here, is to watch Mayweather versus Maidana I. And there's some grainy footage here. And that's the only tactical fight that McGregor can fight that will give him a shot of setting up the big punch that he wants to land in order to win this fight. He's not going to fight. McGregor is not capable of fighting the fight that Castillo fought in the first fight against Mayweather, which Castillo won. Look at Maidana right there, roughing him up. He's squeezing the elbow a little bit, trying to bend it back. And that's what McGregor needs to do, tactics like that. He's a grappler. He's from mixed martial arts, so get in there like that, do some rabbit punching. Just foul on the inside. And look, bend the Marcus of Queensberry rules. Mayweather does it all the time with his elbows. He does it all the time with tactical clinching, looking up at the clock, tactical clinching. So if you're McGregor, no different. Use your strengths to your advantage and get rough. Look, get rough on the inside. Hold them down with the right hand like Maidana just did, and punch to the ribs with the left hand. He needs to be doing stuff like that against Mayweather. He needs to be watching film of this fight, and this is the type of fight he needs to fight, because not capable of technically being in there with Castillo like he did in the first fight, which, like I said, many in the boxing world thought Castillo won that first fight, but once Floyd figured him out, he dominated him in the second fight. So he's not capable of fighting a fight like that. He's just not a tactical technician, a boxer like that. He just doesn't have the experience, doesn't have the speed. And I love when people say Floyd has trouble with southpaws. Look, he's undefeated against southpaws, but not all southpaws are the same. Even so, Zab Judah is not the same southpaw that Conor McGregor is. Zab Judah just had unbelievable speed in his prime, and he gave Floyd fits in the first 4 or 5 rounds in their fight. But guess what? McGregor, once again, not capable of fighting that type of fight. He's not capable of carrying that out. He's not capable of keeping Floyd at bay for 8 rounds like De La Hoya did until Mayweather isolated his jab and won the championship rounds. But he's not capable. You see Floyd with the elbow right there, and that's what I'm talking about. You can bend the Marcus of Queensberry rules like Maidana's doing right there, grabbing the rope. McGregor needs to do a lot of that. Back him up like that, back him up against the ropes, push him down like that, push him back like that, try to grab onto the ropes, punch with your offhand, rabbit punch, and you see Floyd putting Maidana's head down right there. There's a lot of that goes on in boxing, and McGregor has some physical traits to where if he backs, and it's tough. You see what Floyd did right there. He just he was moving to his left, step right back to the right real quick. It's tough to cut off the ring against him, even at 40 years old. And Floyd's a lot more stationary than he used to be. Watch the Corrales fight. You want to see Floyd at his prime just bouncing around the ring like a pinball. He didn't even have to use the shoulder roll. He didn't even use the shoulder roll at that time because he was such a physical specimen to where he could do whatever he wanted in there. But now, a more stationary fighter, Conor's going to have to grapple with him, back him against the ropes, punch with that offhand. But still, it's tough to me. It's pretty impossible to envision a scenario where Conor lands that big shot that he's looking to land. The reason I'm saying that is it's different. And look at the warning. Maidana was trying to rough him up. It's different setting up punches in boxing than it is in UFC. in MMA. Conor is not going to be able to fake a kick and go upstairs against Floyd. It's just different. It's different. The stance is different. Just starting from the basics, the stance is different. Combat Sports 101. When you're in mixed martial arts and you use the kick, your feet are going to be parallel with each other, kind of pointed to the side. So when you, say if you're a conventional fighter, you throw that right kick, your foot has to be pointed to the side a little bit so you can pivot with that left foot and pivot into your kick, pivot with that front foot. In boxing, we all know there's the L stance. So your front foot is pointed towards the target. And you pivot with the back foot when you throw your punch, and then you pivot. You can still pivot when you throw the front punch. Say you're conventional, you throw the left hand, you can still pivot to your left. But I'm getting off a topic here. What I'm saying is it's extremely difficult for McGregor. It's going to be difficult for him to set his feet on a moving target like this, like Floyd Mayweather, and land something big. So what he has to do is what Maidana is doing here. He has to just keep throwing from awkward angles, hunt him down, rough him up when he's on the inside, hunt him down. You're gonna walk through humongous shots, but guess what? You're gonna have to. If you really want to win this fight, you're gonna have to walk through some big shots because Floyd can punch. I love when people say, "Oh, Floyd has no power." He just doesn't sit on his punches. Ask Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley will tell you. Floyd has power. And look at Floyd using the elbow again. But McGregor has to fight this fight right here that Maidana fought in the first fight. Maidana was right there with Floyd because he used these tactics on the inside, roughed him up, fouled a little bit, got rough, and then he just kept throwing and throwing and throwing from odd angles. It didn't matter that the punches were wide, didn't matter where they were coming from weird angles, and he was just throwing to see what was stuck on the wall. And that's what McGregor has to do here. He can't fight the type of fight Shane Mosley tried to fight when he landed 3 big shots in the first 2 rounds. He doesn't have the type of power and explosiveness that Mosley has. He doesn't know how to set up punches the way Mosley does. He's not going to be able to keep Mayweather honest like Mosley did just sitting in the pocket for the first 2 rounds. He has to fight this fight right here. And that's why I'm saying ultimately, if McGregor wants to win this fight, and I give him a chance of winning this fight, I'm going to say it again, but if he wants to win this fight, if he's looking for a blueprint for success for him, if he's looking for a guy to sort of emulate that he can best emulate stylistically, I don't think he has the punching power Maidana does. I'm sorry to tell MMA fans, in the boxing world, he doesn't have the punching power Maidana has. And it's not just about punching power. Like I said, it's about setting up that power punch. A lot of guys have power, but can you set it up? If it was all about punching power, Randall Bailey would be one of the greatest fighters that ever lived. But it's about more than that. You have to set it up, and you have to throw. Look, you see the weird angles he's throwing from? A lot of them are landing behind Floyd's head. Once again, right there. And then he's grabbing Floyd's hands on the inside and using his offhand to sort of rough Floyd up. That's what McGregor has to do here. He has grappling ability, McGregor. We know that. He's a much better grappler than Floyd. So rough him up a little on the inside. Bend those elbows back a little bit, like that right there. You see Maidana with that right hand sort of trying to pull Mayweather's hand straight. And this is the type of fight he needs to fight. Rough him up on the inside, throw a ton of punches from odd angles, and see what sticks to the wall. Even if you don't land that big shot, at least you look decent trying to do it on your way to getting knocked out. But this is a style right here. Maidana versus Floyd 1. That's what McGregor, they need to have that on loop. Don't watch any other fight. You can't pull off anything else. You can't pull off any other style. You can't pull off De La Hoya style. You can't pull off Zab Judah style. You can't pull off Chop Chop Corley style. You can't pull off any of those styles. You have to fight this style right here. And look at Floyd complaining. Get in his head like that. But we'll see what happens, man. Let me know what y'all think about this. I think this is the fight that McGregor's camp needs to be watching nonstop. I'm out. Peace.